Now Sports, bringing you another Thursday night matchup. It's the New England Patriots taking on the New York Jets, and New York Jets are the favorites by 6. It's a 38.5 implied point total. That's the over-under. So, all that means is it's going to be a low-scoring game. I don't see this game being a shootout to the end. I think it's a defensive matchup because both these defenses are pretty stout. And right now, the odds-on favorite, according to analytics and the professionals, the Jets are favored to win by about 60, anywhere from 60 to 75% odds-on favorite. So, I think it's because if you break certain things down on offense, the Patriots didn't look good. They still don't look good. Jacoby Brissett's nothing more than a game-managing quarterback. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. That's what you need from somebody in his position. He's technically a backup quarterback, a great backup quarterback, very viable at the NFL level. But with this offense, Hunter Henry can't be your leading wide receiver because that's just not going to work as a every week, play script. That's just not going to work. Him getting the majority of the receptions last week is not prescriptive. Ramondre Stevenson, he's probably the safest player to play on that entire offense. Other than that, you're kind of waiting to see what this offense actually becomes. And you hope that sooner or later we start seeing some Drake May or something like that. Somebody who could throw the ball a little bit more downfield to Jalen Polk. And, maybe we see some more Javon Baker out there or Demario Douglas, things like that. But as of right now with Jacoby Brissett, you can't trust any of those wide receivers. The Antonio Gibson looked good last week, but that's not prescriptive either unless something happens to Ramondre Stevenson. I do think with that, though, they might start seeing more of a balanced timeshare just because you don't want to wear Ramondre into the ground and then he ends up hurt, and that's your best weapon on the field other than Hunter Henry. And then what do you do on the offensive side? It's kind of a wash of a season. Then you might as well just throw Drake May out there to see what he got, to teach him, to give him lessons so he could watch the game unfold in front of him and just let him know that hey, whatever happens. This is not a reflection on you and your career going forward. We just want you to get out there, get some game time experience, and whatever happens, and it is what it is, But that's not this week. This week, Jacoby Brissett's going to be out there. I think, Jared Mayo still wants to be a coach that wins games, regardless if they're ugly. He doesn't mind the Mike Tomlin strategy of just winning the game by any means necessary. And so that's why I'm going to say both of these teams, you could take a flyer on either of those kickers. It's fine. This is one of those matchups where you want the kickers. It's a defensive matchup. It's an in-league, AFC East rivalry matchup. So with the way Miami's looking and their injuries and stuff like that, it's one of these teams have the opportunity to pull out ahead this week, both being 1-1, but also this league is ugly. And I think Buffalo, as long as they keep playing decent football, they're going to come out as number 1. But getting into the New York Jets, it's going to be good to see Aaron Rodgers in this color green in a, AFC East standoff, a divisional rivalry matchup. It's going to be fun to watch that because those games are games that I know Aaron Rodgers likes to show out on. So we hope we see that. We hope Garrett Wilson gets the ball a lot more because we need to see that offense pick it up. Right now, that offense is just not looking good. Aaron Rodgers is being a game-managing quarterback. He's not throwing enough touchdown passes that we need him to throw. I know Braylon Allen got some love last week, but that was only because Breece Hall was doing so much. But I think that shows that the Jets can now take a little bit off of Breece Hall's plate, but not in a way that's going to affect his fantasy football outlook, just as a way to not, blow your load on your best offensive weapon right now. It's the same with the New England Patriots and the New York Jets are very similar offensively right now. Very, very similar. And we both are, we're waiting to see what both offenses want to become. We know their defenses are good. We know their defensive schemes are great. They got great weapons on the defensive side, both teams. Their coaches figure out ways to put their defensive guys in positions to win. And they scheme very well against offenses, especially simpler offenses like these are going to have to be. That's just what they've been because they don't have that identity yet. So we want to see that identity. I will say, though, the New York Jets are a little banged up on the defensive side, so we're kind of waiting to see what happens with CJ Mosley. They need to get Hassan Reddick that contract. Just pay the man whatever he wants. I know he's older, but You need him if you want to be a competing team in this division, in this league. Otherwise, you guys are going to be forced to win games ugly, just like the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots have a couple people banged up on the offensive line side, so that's a bonus. But then the Jets don't have anybody to rush. Mosley's out, Jermaine Johnson's out, Reddick's out, Zaire Barnes is out. So their defensive rush scheme isn't there. I think we're going to see a lot of zone right here. So it's really going to be hard to pick which offensive weapon as far as the receiving core goes. Hunter Henry, take the flyer just because he got so much love from Jacoby Brissett last week, and he's kind of his safety net right now. But on the other side, you're just kind of hoping Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers finally click, man. I want to see them click, because when that happens, I think it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be great. You're going to be happy. I streamed Aaron Rodgers last week. I don't think I can do that this week. This is a defensive matchup. It's a rivalry. Those tend to be hard. You either want to play the quarterbacks in them or you don't at all. So this is one of those don't at alls. I wouldn't play either of them. And these defenses, I wouldn't necessarily face them off against each other just because it's going to be low scoring. And I don't think there's going to be a lot of mistakes in this game. It's just going to be kind of one of those slow, boring Thursday night matchups that, everybody puts on the TV while they cook dinner. That's just what it is. And you're going to be watching your fantasy football team, hoping Breece Hall and Ramondre get you some love. I know a lot of people picked up Hunter Henry. Hopefully he's, keeps riding. And then hopefully Garrett Wilson, can get it together with Aaron Rodgers. Other than that, I'm not playing anybody else. I'm not playing Alan Lazard. I'm not playing Tyler Conklin. I'm not playing Polk. I'm not playing Baker. I'm not playing Demario Douglas. All these guys are just, they're flyers right now. Traquan Thornton, none of those guys. We don't know what these offensive schemes are, so you just can't trust any of them. Like I said, the ones you can trust are the running backs on both sides, the tight end, Hunter Henry, and of course Garrett Wilson, because you took him in the second round, and it's only week 3, so you're hoping they get it together. Get it together! But other than that, man, this is Bad Mouth Sports. I love you guys. I'm taking the Jets. Also, I'm just going to follow because I think this is just going to be a boring game. It's going to be ugly, whoever wins. But I hope we learn something today from both these teams. So, yeah. All right, baby. This has been Bad Mouth. I'm going to release some other stuff later today for tomorrow's games and such and such. So, much love. Thank you for tuning in. And I'll catch ya later.